Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 12th. We're just going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and take a look at your general energies in this first row here. And damn, Capricorn, I love that for sure. In your next row, we're going to look at anything unexpected that could be coming in for you at this time. This also looks amazing. Your readings have been amazing lately, Capricorn, like way better than anyone else's. Next, we're going to look at any of the good stuff that could be coming in for you. So it doesn't matter what shows up here as far as the cards are concerned. It's going to be positive no matter what. And then in your last row, we're going to look at any advice from your guides. On top of that, we are going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end, and I will give you time to think your questions. But you start off with this card that says the Sun on it. It says your perseverance is rewarded. You also have the Chariot. The Chariot can also kind of represent, your perseverance being rewarded, basically. Mostly because the Chariot kind of says where there's a will, there's a way. So if you just don't give up with the Chariot, then you win. Plain and simple. So it looks like you haven't given up on something, and I feel there are some big wins coming in for you here. It's like your hard work is finally paying off. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Justice card. Again, the Seven of Pentacles, he's maybe admiring the work that he has done. You know, the Seven of Pentacles can represent a lot of different things, and I feel for some of you that this is saying that you are kind of receiving your rewards for the work that you're done. I always say with him that, it can be a card of where there's a will, there's a way. Where, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I feel like you're saying that, like, has all the work you've been doing, is it adding up to something? Is it leading to something bigger? And I would say, yes, definitely. You have the Chariot. The Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. Definitely a victory coming in for you here. I feel like you're ready to level up as well. You can see that he's leaving the city behind. He's kind of moving in a new direction. And he's allowing the universe to guide him. He's allowing the universe to move him in a new direction. Those 2 sphinxes in the front of the card, they represent the universe. They're both facing in opposite directions. They both also represent mysteries as well. So it's like maybe you're not exactly sure where you're going in your life, but I feel like there's a new sense of confidence here in your reading where you're feeling more confident about maybe decisions that you're making in new directions that you're moving in. You have the Justice card as well. And I feel for some of you, you're receiving justice. I almost feel like some of you have made a decision here in the very recent past, right? And I kind of feel like you keep going back and forth. I do feel at the end of the reading, I'm just going to tell you right now, that I feel like your guides are saying, no, stop. Stop going back and forth. You made the right decision, and you're going in the right direction. Keep going in the right direction. So I don't know if you cut someone out, but I feel like you cut someone out. I feel like you keep, and it could be a person that you cut out. Maybe you just blocked this person or moved on. I feel like this person was a liar, cheater, stealer. All 3. I feel like they're up to no good, but I feel like maybe you had a feeling that they were kind of no good, but maybe you didn't have any direct proof. I feel like the only proof you need is right here. It's like exactly what you were thinking. It's like sometimes I think, I've read for people in the past where they would say like, I feel this, I feel that about the relationship that they were in or are in. And I always say, trust your intuition, because there's got to be a reason that your brain or your intuition is telling you that something doesn't feel right, right? And it's like sometimes maybe do we overthink things? Absolutely. But there's probably a reason, right? And I kind of feel like this is saying there's probably a reason you chose to walk away from something here, which is what it looks like at the end for some of you, maybe not all of you. And I feel like this is saying, don't second guess yourself. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Moon. The Moon can just represent a period of time. The Moon also represents a period of time of kind of bringing your ideas down to earth. I feel like you're very close to the end here to these mountains. Mountains in the tarot represent achievements. So I feel there are like a lot of achievements coming in for you here, Capricorn. With the Chariot, you have the Devil, you showing up in a very strong position. Technically, the Chariot is your opposite sign, Cancer. And the Devil is you. So I feel like you're just showing up in a very strong position here in this reading. I feel like it's also saying you've done the work. With the Justice card, I didn't even talk about that. The Justice card, I feel like is saying that you could be receiving karmic justice if you walked away from a person, right, who did you dirty. But with the Justice card and the 8 of Wands, I also kind of felt like this Justice card was talking about a tool that you have developed for yourself. Then with the Justice card, it's cause and effect. It's like when we learn how to work with justice energy, we learn how to tell whether or not something is working or isn't working in our life. And I kind of feel this is going to lead to fast progress for you, especially with that Eight of Wands. Next in the area of the unexpected here, if I can pick these cards up, you have this money card. So I do feel that there could be money coming in for you here. For some of you, I feel like you're finding money, but maybe not literally finding money in your house. I feel like some of you could be, I feel like the house could be like your business, and the money that you're finding is maybe like a new way to, like a new product to offer. Maybe you're discovering a new way to, if you have like a consulting business, maybe you're discovering a new way to do that. If you have a job, you could also be discovering like a job somewhere else that offers more money for the same amount of work. So some of you, I do get this feeling of, because you have the Death card here, and the Death card, it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's striking me as funny in this reading because the king is dead on the Death card. Basically, it says that, even kings die. Nothing is immune to transformation. And I feel like you could be, some of you, not all of you, but obviously for those of you that have a job, I feel like you could be surprising a boss because maybe they thought you would be there forever, but maybe they also thought paying you like 5 cents an hour was enough. And when maybe someone wants to pay you, $20 an hour instead of 5 cents an hour. So I feel like for a lot of you that there could be a big upgrade in the amount of money you make because, just someone wants to offer you more. And it also values like the work that you're doing. And I'm all about making those changes. Trust me, I had one of those bosses in my life who just thought that they were God's gift to every single employee, that thought like, $3 an hour isn't enough to be paying you, basically like they were doing everybody some sort of big, huge favor. And I kind of see it both ways, right? If we have a job, I think we should be that we need, that supports us, I think we should be grateful. But I also think that bosses should be grateful for their employees as well, right? It works better both ways instead of, both sides fighting against each other, right? And I kind of see that for some of you. I feel you're entering into a situation that's much more grateful on both sides. They're grateful for you, you're grateful for them, and looks like money to me. You have the Death card, the Fool, and the Two Wands. It's like, you're out. I feel like this Fool is saying you're bouncing. So for some of you, you're bouncing on a boss that just is, again, maybe not that great. For others, I feel in work or business, if you have a business, I feel you could be ready to, again, maybe launch that new product, or maybe you're working on a different, like offer for your business or whatever you want to call it. And I feel this is going to be very profitable for you here, Capricorn. I feel it's just going to be good for you like all the way around. So love it. On the Death card, something is changing. Again, we're not meant to stay the same. I truly believe that, we are meant to change. We're meant to do things differently. We're not meant to be like a lawyer, right? As I like joking about. We're not necessarily meant to be just a doctor, right? There's probably other things that we could do along with that. And I'm not saying that if you're a lawyer, you have to quit or something like that. But it's like, are there other things you want to do with your life? And how can you fit that in, right? How can you get those two things to work together? I think of all the YouTube lawyers, right? There are some great YouTube lawyers out there where they get to do YouTube and they also get to talk about law and all that other stuff, right? So it's like, they're kind of, I see those types of people as kind of like mixing the things together. For some reason, that's popping into my head here with the with the Death card and the Devil. And I feel like some of you are kind of like saying like, how can I transform what I'm doing and make it more, profitable or just more enjoyable, right? When something becomes more enjoyable, it naturally becomes more profitable because you enjoy doing it. So that's kind of what I see there. You have the Two Wands. Some of you could be thinking about moving. You do have that House card. And if you're like waiting for money or approval, I feel like you could be getting money or approval for the house if you've been waiting for that as well. But let's clarify. With the Death card, you have the Seven of Cups. Definitely, see, mixing things together. Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice and having a lot of opportunities. There's some good things in those cups and some bad things in those cups. But really, with the Justice card here, I feel like the Justice card is just saying, try it. Just see what happens. And if it doesn't work, try something else until you figure out what works. Sometimes we just have to kind of like play around and see what works best for us. With the Fool, you have the Ace of Swords. Definitely a victory coming in for you right next to the Chariot. So big time victory coming in for you this week. With the Two Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, teamwork makes a dream work. I mean, you always get this in your readings, Capricorn. So, anything you can do to build a community, work on a team, learn from other people, co-create, I feel that's going to be best. And I literally just said this about getting a job where it's like both sides appreciate each other. It's like, wouldn't that be nice? That's co-creation at its best, right? Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Convention card, and you also have this Protection card. So, again, it doesn't matter what comes up here. It's going to be positive. So I feel for a lot of you that things are changing. Convention is kind of like the way things have always been done. And I feel like you're changing that. And I feel like you're protected from the changes you're making with this protection card right here. I feel like it's saying you are allowed to change. You are allowed to do things differently. The death card is a card of kind of changing, reinvention, major, death card represents a major change, not just a little tiny one. So I feel you are protected in any changes that you're making. You have the Star, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Again, I feel this Page of Swords is saying, be playful if you're thinking about like doing something different in your business. Maybe you have a crazy idea, but maybe it's just so crazy that it might work. So don't be afraid to be curious like the Page of Swords. Don't be afraid to be childlike. On the positive side of things, he's very playful and childlike, and he's very curious, and he looks into things and he researches things. I also feel that if the Star card is a little bit of inspiration. She is pouring water out onto the land here. And she's pouring water from this pool of universal consciousness. This represents that if something is possible for one person, it's possible for you. So it kind of represents the fact that you could be feeling inspired by something that you're seeing in the world, and, this water that's being poured onto the world. I feel like you're being inspired to maybe take action or do things that you want to do with your life. And, if you see someone doing something that you want to do, I feel like you could do it. You just have to take action. I also feel there's like a lot of reasons to feel hopeful, but I feel like you are seeing the reasons to be hopeful. It's like motivating you. You also have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles on the positive side of things can represent being financially stable. To me, it can also represent removing obstacles. One of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, he talks about brain-heart coherence, and you can see he has a pentacle on his head, a pentacle over his heart. So it's kind of like his head and his heart are in alignment. And, Greg Braden says when your head and your heart are in alignment, you can move mountains. So I literally feel some of you could be moving obstacles just by being in alignment this week. With the Star card, you have the Judgment card. Waking up to your true purpose. The star can kind of represent your purpose because it is like your North Star, your guiding light, the thing that you are working towards, that you want to accomplish. And I feel a lot of you could be working towards something that is your guiding light, discovering your purpose. And I don't know, I just feel it's very motivating. You probably feel very motivated, very driven at this time. With the Page of Swords, you have the Lovers, so I definitely feel that there could be love coming in for some of you, but it kind of feels in the background. Kind of funny because you've been getting love, which I've been saying is kind of weird, and now, like this week, everybody else has been getting love, and you really don't have like a ton of love stuff here. As I always say, love is always available to us, I believe. It's not like, there's, I feel like we can always go and get love if we want it. But if you want it, I feel like here it is. But for the most part, I feel like this is talking about you making some choices. Lovers can be a card of the crossroads, needing to make a decision to move in a new direction, which, again, this whole entire reading to me, I'm surprised the Magician hasn't shown up. The Magician is the real card of reinvention. And I'm surprised that, again, with all this reinvention energy, it hasn't shown up yet. With the with the Four of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands. Definitely, as far as the good stuff is concerned, this to me says you're getting ready to release some things that maybe have been holding you back for a long time. I feel like you're feeling more motivated, more driven, more like you want to accomplish certain things. So I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you with the Ten of Wands. I also feel you're about to have a harvest. He's carrying a harvest on his shoulders. That's what those 10 wands are. And this is his home. He's about to release those 10 wands. He's about to have his harvest. So, money card, the sun card, clearly there's like rewards coming in for you this week. Next in the area of advice from your guides, you have this card that says, if all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, you won't value and appreciate the small ones. So I feel like you need to appreciate the small wins more and more and more. Didn't you have the Two Wands here? Yeah, you have the Two Wands right here. Two Wands is about needing to appreciate the in-between time. Two Wands, he has rushed to a finish line. He he feels like he has accomplished everything that there is to accomplish. He didn't enjoy the journey. And the Two Wands is all about that. You've probably heard me say that before. So I feel like that's what this is saying. I do also feel like it's saying like more small wins. Create more wins during your day. Like what's a win for you? And create more of those things. You have the Hierophant, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Swords here. Again, for some of you, I feel like this is saying that you've walked away from a liar, cheater, stealer. It's weird because intuitively, I feel like you're questioning it. You're like saying, did I make the right decision? Did I do the right things? But, the thing is, I feel like you did everything for this person. It's like you actually put in the work. I feel like this person was very lazy. And I'm pretty sure I said this to you like last week or something like that, Capricorn. So it's a repeating message. And, to me, those repeating messages are basically like the universe being like, hey, listen up. This person is lazy as shit. And, I literally am seeing this person laying on a couch in my head right now. So I feel like this person is very lazy. The thing that's very annoying that I think would annoy you if you were to actually be with this person is I feel like they have a lot of potential, but they don't use it. And maybe some of you are shaking your head saying, yes, right now. So I feel this is saying like, okay, maybe you have those moments of sadness. The funny thing is I feel like you made the decision to walk away for some of you. Maybe not true for all of you, but I feel like if this is love, you made the decision to walk away because they're lazy. Laziness. Same thing, for some of you, this could be that job that I was talking about. Maybe you're walking away from a job that doesn't pay you enough. You're being underappreciated. Maybe your boss is sad about it, but I don't know. Maybe they could pay you more money. It might not be that simple, but it is that simple. With the Hierophant here, I feel like you've just been learning a lot. The Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. It is the bridge between the universe and the earth, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like you're really tapping into your spiritual side this week. I feel like your guides are really kind of guiding you with the Hierophant as well. That's all I'm really getting there. But let's see. I feel like there's love coming in for you if you're doubting it to like in the future, especially if you walked away from something. I feel like there's something much better coming in. With the Hierophant, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card of abundance, also a card of independence. Again, I like the Nine of Pentacles. It's like pre-Empress energy, definitely a card of gratitude and luxuries as well. I don't like how some people talk about it. They talk about it like, oh, you're alone and you're independent and isn't that amazing? But, as I always say, I think there's a thing called toxic independence where people are independent, but they're crying at night, every single night because they're alone. So, what I would say here is that, for you, I do feel like this is true independence. I feel like you are truly becoming independent, truly able to take care of yourself, and it's not about being alone, right? With the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. Again, I feel like you have these moments where if you're thinking about a person where you feel sad, where you feel left out in the cold, there's definitely something going on here. It's not, if I'm being honest, it's not exactly clear to me what the story is going on here. It feels a little confusing if I'm being honest. So I don't know, maybe you're confused about this person or they're confused about you or whatever. If they're confused, I feel like they just need to, remove their head from their anus. Let's put it that way, because, I feel like it's very, very clear why this didn't work out. They were very lazy. I see it in my head, like very clearly. So, but I do feel like maybe you have those moments where you're like sad about it. But, again, don't allow those things to make you weak is what I feel like this is saying. As in, don't give in to them if they're trying to come back, right? With the Three of Swords, you have the Emperor here. Mercury retrograde. I'm telling you what, this is a bad one. So follow all the retrograde rules. But what I'd say with the Emperor is, again, I feel like you've taken your power back, really, is what this is saying. You have the Emperor here. Do you have the Empress? No. But you have the pre-Empress energy there with the Nine of Pentacles. So you almost have both. But I really feel it's saying that you have kind of taken your power back. You're sitting on your throne. Remember, the king has died on the death card. There's something about that for you outside of everything else going on here. I feel like you are embracing the Emperor-Empress energy together, kind of becoming fully integrated. I feel like you're calling judgment on things too. That's almost popping into my head where I feel like you're making very clear decisions. That's what I mean about calling judgment. And it's really putting you in a position of power and strength. I love it. So we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards here now, Capricorn. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions 1, 2, and 3. For question number 1, I would say yes, 10 of Cups. I feel there's a happily ever after coming in for you. I do feel there's love coming in. As I always say, I keep forgetting to stop saying that because love doesn't just magically appear in your life. You have to go and get it, as far as I'm concerned. And to everyone that says, I don't want to go and get it, I'm like, okay, well then you're just saying that all your worth, all that you can accomplish is someone who just magically appears in your life. And again, trust me, it's better. Easy come, easy go, right? Putting in the work and finding someone, much, much better. You're going to find a much higher quality person. And I think that's part of the problem, right? We're just all on Tinder, adult friend finder, whatever the hell you use, right? Just swiping left and right? Doesn't work. That there is like no value in that. Having to go and work for it, trust me, much more value, right? And so I feel like maybe you have to go and work. 10 of Cups is my card of dating, but much better. Question number 2, lovers. Definitely love. Here's all the love that didn't show up in your reading. I would say yes to any question that you're asking here, but also could be love. For question number 3, I feel like saying no. I feel like this is a waste of time, honestly, whatever you're asking for question number 3. But this is a really good reading. So thank you for being here, Capricorn. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.